Hi guys, welcome. It is Ball TV. If it's your first time here, hope to see you again. Alright, another story based out of this book, and the title of the book is Things Your Domestic Workers Will Love to Tell You, but They Will Not. Anyways, this is just a collection of stories from either nannies, caregivers, house help, domestic workers, name it. Anyways, so this is another really crazy story of a nanny. So long story short, there was once this lovely family, lovely couple, and they lived in a very high-end suburb. They both make more than 6 figures and whatnot. It was amazing. And then of course they were planning to have their first child. And of course they have the money. They decided to hire a nanny. And then I don't know even how to put it, but anyway, so the story is of course they hired a nanny, and baby came. Nanny was taking care of the baby and whatnot. But on the flip side, apparently mom's ex was one of the doctors that helped in delivering the baby. Unknown to her husband, of course, mom was still seeing her ex. And then, of course, anytime the husband goes to work, mom was still, of course, in maternity leave, and she will be telling this nanny all sorts of things about her husband. And then, of course, one day the ex came into the house, and the mom told the nanny, that is my ex, but myself and my husband, that's what the mom says, that they are in an open relationship, meaning they can still, even though they are married, they are still open to seeing other people. But she tells the nanny that it's not like she's actually seeing her ex, but once in a while they just hook up, but there is nothing to eat. And she tells the nanny that of course her husband knows about it. And of course, nanny was just continuing with her chores and doing her nanny stuff. And then mom was able to go back to work after, of course, her maternity leave was over. And of course, this one night, mom came late. And what's her name? Because the ex was frequenting the house, pardon my French, the ex was frequenting the house. The nanny, of course, just one day when the wife was late, the husband was like, worried, where's my wife? Where's my wife? The nanny just said it jokingly, how she's probably at the ex. And the husband is like, oh, what do you mean? And then she's like, well, your wife said that, you guys are in an open relationship, and her ex has always been coming here, and they will send me out, to go buy stuff or something, and then, they do their business, and by the time she comes back, she's done. Or at times, she'll find the ex by the gate leaving. And the husband is like, no, we are not in an open relationship. And then he's like, oh, don't tell me, tell your wife. I casually said it to you because she told me that, you guys are in an open relationship. If that was not the case, I would not have, of course, told you. And then a few minutes later, the wife comes back. And then the husband asks, oh, you are so late. Where are you coming from? She's like, oh. So she casually tells the husband that she met her ex and a friend while leaving the office, so they went out to eat, and that's where she's coming from. And knowing what the nanny already told him, she was furious, so she brought that up as well. And now the wife is like, no, she never told the nanny, she was just saying it jokingly and whatnot, and yeah. So it was just huge drama. And guess who knocks at the door? The ex, because I think she forgot her purse at the ex's house. And the ex is like, oh, when she knocked at the door while the argument was going on, and she's like, oh, sorry, you forgot your purse, you ran out. And then the husband is like, oh, where was she? She's like, oh, she was at my house. We just finished dinner. Something like that. So, of course, the husband was upset. He walks out. And the following day when he came back, he took her stuff and started, filing for divorce and all that stuff. And then, of course, the husband wanted to get custody of the child, of the newborn, but of course the wife could not accept to it, and now the husband plans with the nanny so that of course they can steal the baby while the wife is not home and leave. And then of course when the wife was at work, the nanny, of course everybody knew the nanny. If the nanny lives with the baby, nobody asks where you're going with the baby, of course. And yeah, so the nanny left the house and then met up with her boss's husband. And then, of course, they took a road trip, and that's how they left the country. So it's all crazy, like how certain household situationship can actually get some nannies or house helps entangled in things that, they may or may not find themselves into. So now this poor nanny, was caught into this drama, and in essence, she now has to help, steal the baby for the ex-husband and, all that. So it was all sorts of drama. But luckily, the nanny was not allowed to cross the border. It was only the husband that was allowed to cross the border and the kids. Apparently, she had some sort of record in her file from other previous jobs. So anyways, and then of course when the husband her boss's husband crossed the border, the nanny was not allowed to go, so the nanny came back. And then of course when she got to the house, the boss was asking, oh, where's my baby? She's like, oh, your husband came here and took the child. She didn't say I was with them, we were going at the airport. And then, the woman called the police and all that, so they questioned her. And then she had to tell the truth, of course. Yeah. And that's how this nanny, lost her job. And I'm not sure if she's hired somewhere else. But anyways, is there any lesson in this story? I don't know if there is any lessons, but if there is any sort of lesson, is the fact that just remain professional. If you are a house help, housekeeper, caregiver, don't get yourself too entangled with what is happening in the household. Make things too complicated for yourselves, and then you might lose a very good job, and now you have to start over to look for another job, and it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's better just, if you are working through an agency, just call the agency and switch homes. And it is too complicated, man. It's crazy. So there's a lot of crazy things that some nannies and housekeepers and caregivers go through out there. So my prayers to them, man. But prayers out for them, absolutely. And that's all I have to say. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for now, and I'll see you all in the next video. All right, I have another crazy nanny story as well, so you don't want to miss that one. Take care.